Today, we're diving into a recently released supernatural horror film titled Devliver Us. The movie presents a captivating premise. A woman gives birth to both God and devil simultaneously. The plot is intriguingly complex, and it offers a refreshing take on the horror genre. Now, let's delve into Devliver Us without further delay. The scene opens in a dimly lit chamber where terrified priests and priestesses sit in silence, their faces etched with dread. Suddenly, chaos erupts as a figure strikes, severing their heads in a brutal display of power. The lifeless bodies are stripped bare, revealing strange, ancient symbols inscribed on their waists, while the skin from their backs is meticulously peeled away. At the center of this horrific ritual, the severed skins are stitched together with unsettling precision, each piece carefully examined as a chilling booklet emerges. In a quiet Russian convent, we meet Sister Yulia, a novice nun who has recently dedicated her life to faith. One night, she awakens to excruciating pain in her stomach, prompting her to rush to the washroom, hoping to find relief. As she checks for her period, the atmosphere grows tense. The glass of the window suddenly cracks without cause, sending a chill down her spine. Disturbed by the unsettling movement, Yulia steps back. Then she comes in front of Mother Mary's statue and notices that tears are coming out of Mother Mary's statue's eyes, and now cuts appear on both her hands automatically, and her stomach pain increases a lot, with which the scene shifts to this place. We are introduced to Father Fox, summoned by the bishop to discuss Sister Yulia's troubling case. The bishop reveals that Yulia has invoked Father Fox's name in her distress, indicating a deep connection to him that cannot be ignored. He emphasizes the urgency of the situation, noting that there have been instances of double-crossing within the convent, suggesting that dark forces may be at play. The bishop insists that Father Fox must travel to the convent immediately to investigate the matter, as the implications of Yulia's plight could be far more significant. Father Fox, however, confesses to the bishop that he no longer wishes to continue his priestly duties. He reveals that he is in love with a woman who is pregnant, and he yearns to build a new life with her, away from the confines of the church. The bishop, taken aback, reminds him of the recent incident where Father Fox saved a girl's life. But Father Fox insists that it was merely a matter of calming a mentally ill individual, not an act of heroism. The bishop presses him to grasp the gravity of Sister Yulia's situation, revealing that she is pregnant with twins. Despite her claims of purity, Yulia believes that these unborn children are significant, possibly tied to the dark forces. And the other is good, means there is some divine angel there. The bishop urges Father Fox to investigate further, suggesting that there may be a divine element to Yulia's situation that warrants attention. Returning home, Father Fox finds his fiancée, Laura, who notices the case file on the table. As they discuss Yulia's plight, Laura reveals her own troubled past, mentioning her childhood abuse at the hands of a figure named Phidia. She expresses her desire to support Father Fox, assuring him that once they both finish their commitments, they can leave everything behind and start anew in Canada. With their future in mind, Father Fox sets off for the convent, where he encounters Cardinal Russo, the man at the center of the allegations surrounding Yulia. Arriving at the convent in a state of confusion, Father Fox is immediately drawn to a statue of Mother Mary. Observing the tears streaming down the statue's face, he muses aloud, questioning whether it is merely a mechanical trick or a result of the weather conditions. Shifting his focus, he inquires about Sister Yulia's condition, prompting Cardinal Russo to reveal that she will only speak to him, hinting at a deeper connection. At that moment, Father Soul enters the room, an unsettling figure who resembles the one-eyed man from the gruesome ritual at the film's beginning. His presence is both eerie and compelling. Father Fox, taken aback, feels a chill as Father Soul questions why Sister Yulia specifically called for him. In the dim light of the convent, Father Fox learns from a nearby sister that there are very few Catholics in the area, suggesting that Yulia may have had interactions with them through her past cases. The sister reveals troubling information. Before her arrival at the convent, Yulia engaged in wrongful actions, believing her pregnancy to be a consequence of her past misdeeds. Determined to understand her plight, Father Fox approaches Yulia, who surprises him by speaking in English. Curious, he asks her how she acquired the language. she responds mysteriously, stating that she hasn't formally learned it. Rather, she possesses a unique ability that allows her to communicate with him. As their conversation deepens, Yulia confides that her unborn children speak to her, adding another layer of complexity to her already extraordinary situation. Father Fox begins to share insights with Yulia, revealing details about her life that she herself is unaware of. He explains that he was summoned there for a reason, to help her navigate the dark forces threatening her and to fulfill a divine plan that others are attempting to obstruct. Just as the weight of his words sinks in, a nun interrupts, insisting that he must leave. Father Fox protests, asserting that his time is not yet finished. But the nun remains unyielding, escorting him away. As he is led through the convent, another sister brings him to Cardinal Russo, who is engrossed in reviewing printouts, wedding documents, and various records. Russo informs Father Fox that he has been examining ancient sculptures, hinting at a connection between these relics and the unfolding events. As Father Fox examines the documents, he discovers a hidden booklet containing a prophecy written in an ancient language. Intrigued, he begins to read aloud, revealing a chilling prediction. A virgin girl will give birth to 2 children, one destined to be the Messiah, and the other the Antichrist, the embodiment of evil. The text ominously states that the Antichrist will seek to eliminate the Messiah by manipulating a holy man and a soldier. Father Fox pauses, contemplating the implications of this prophecy. He suggests that there may be a deeper meaning at play. While the Messiah is to be born of a virgin, the Antichrist could enter this world through the exercise of free will, implying that the girl may choose to engage intimately with someone, thus allowing darkness to infiltrate the light. It becomes clear that the booklet containing the prophecy was sent by Father Soul, the one-eyed figure introduced at the beginning of the film. Cardinal Russo, now convinced of the prophecy's validity, asserts that Yulia is indeed the girl foretold to bear the Messiah and the Antichrist. However, this revelation raises troubling questions. The nun's earlier comments about Yulia's past misdeeds create a paradox. How can someone with such a troubled history be considered a virgin? But here we can notice one thing, that the sculptures which he had studied and the things which were made here, similar things were also on the backs of those dead people. Now Yulia, overwhelmed by the pain coursing through her, clutches her stomach, acutely aware of her children moving within her. Suddenly, Father Soul enters the room. Yulia, sensing the threat he poses, screams in terror, but he swiftly silences her. Meanwhile, Father Fox makes his way to his room, still processing the unsettling events unfolding around him. As he opens the door, he is confronted by a shocking sight. Yulia is wandering the halls, disoriented and naked. Sees Yulia wandering towards a frozen pond. Alarmed, he rushes to save her, but as he searches desperately, she is nowhere to be found. Instead, her children emerge from beneath the icy surface, and the water takes on the shape of a cross. Just as the weight of this haunting scene becomes overwhelming, Father Fox awake, realizing it was all a disturbing dream. Still shaken, he notices an old nun sleepwalking in his room. Gently, he guides her back to her quarters, trying to shake off the remnants of the nightmare. However, the unsettling atmosphere persists as he overhears a conversation between Cardinal Russo and Father Soul in the operating theater. Russo's voice carries a chilling urgency as he declares that they must stop the children from being born. This revelation heightens the stakes for Father Fox, who understands that he must confront the dark forces at play and protect Yulia and her unborn children from a fate that could tip the balance between light and darkness. The urgency of his mission intensifies as he prepares to face the looming threat. He has to stop this, on which Russo tries to stop him, but he doesn't listen, and today he was going to get Yulia's abortion done. Now Father Soul goes to make Yulia unconscious, and Fox comes inside and talks to Russo that they are planning something, and they can't snatch Yulia's children from her like this, and Russo also agrees with him. In fact, Soul himself belongs to a secret curled fox whose job is to stop the world from ending. So he wants to stop the Antichrist from being born, although in this process the Messiah's child is also going to die. In a dark twist, we see Father Soul engaging in a sinister satanic ritual with a group of followers in a dimly lit room. They prepare a lamp marked for sacrifice. Father Fox, witnessing this horrifying scene, instinctively closes and locks the door, but the shock of what he has seen momentarily stuns him. Regaining his composure, Father Fox rushes to Cardinal Russo. They must leave the convent. Together, they manage to escape with him, just as Father Soul realizes their absence and begins to chase them. Fortunately, Father Fox, Russo, and Yulia manage to flee just in time. They board a train heading to another city, seeking safety from Russo comes and Fox's condition was bad, so he faints and a night watchman comes to check the ticket and passport because they had already left Russia, and now after checking the ticket, he sees a child and goes mad and starts hitting his head on the glass window. And at the same time, he gets more visions in which he sees a mysterious boy, and now he wakes up and Yulia tells him that she had stitched his wound, and he sees that both the children are safe, and Yulia is also absolutely fine and is very happy, and she also names both the children. One's name is Jacob, and the other's is Samuel. Now they reach their destination, and Yulia suggests that they should go out from the other gate, which was right because Soul was standing at the first gate waiting for them to come. They also meet Laura, who had an oil factory at this place, and she brings them to her grandfather's grave where he used to stay alone in his last days and started making paintings day and night, which used to talk about the end of the world. And the event ended by hanging himself. That is, he ended his life by hanging himself. She shows her room, and there was a cradle and all the necessary things for the baby, but why did Laura's grandfather need a cradle? I mean, you can see that things are very scary. In fact, I thought things would get okay here, but instead of ending, they are getting more complicated. Anyway, now she leaves those people and goes to the factory where some problem had occurred, and there was a lot of pollution in the city because of the factory's waste, due to which some tension started increasing. Now, before she leaves, Fox talks to her and says that he is ready to go to Canada with her, due to which she was very happy. Now in the meantime, we see Soul, who first checks Fox's house where he comes to know about Laura, and then he tracks him and reaches his house to find out Fox's location, and when his mate sees him, he kills her. Now we see Fox and both of them started getting closer to each other, and Yulia feels that Fox coming to her is God's work. At the same time, Russo also keeps checking those paintings day and night, and he keeps reading about the prophecy, and during dinner he tells them that they're going as per the prophecy when the children were born in the transportation. They will come to a new place, and the children will get a new father who will be reborn, and he will become the father of the children. So Fox got hurt, and now he has been reborn, but even now he does not believe in it much, and the meaning of getting hurt was that when he got stabbed there, he was inside the convent. Well, now at night when Fox and Yulia are sleeping, and both of them get dreams that they were getting intimate, and they both had the same dream. They were watching together. The next day, they both were standing near the children where Yulia says that dreams also tell her a lot, and all this is a sign from God because she is the chosen one, and she will have to make a family. And then Laura comes there, on whom some people who were striking had thrown blood. Then she tells Fox that they both will leave for Canada at night because nothing is right here, on which he also agrees because here he used to love Laura only, who was also pregnant. Now, only then she sees the children, but goes into a trance-like state. She goes and starts crying, which they both handle. Now she and Fox come home to pack, and there Russo is studying the prophecy and paintings, and he keeps getting visions of the mysterious boy, and then he hears a voice which tells him to kill a child, and he will get everything, but he controls himself. Now he looks outside and sees a man, following whom he reaches the woods, and here he meets his own form, who asks him to kill a child, but he refuses to do so. He clearly refuses to kill the child, and now his leg gets stuck in a bear trap, after which wolves come and start eating him. Then we see Laura and Fox, who leave for the airport, and Laura shows him her grandfather's painting in which he had made something like Munster, and her grandfather used to say that she is Laura. That is, he had made her look like Munster. Now both of them go to the factory for some work, and there was a riot going on there, in which a lady shoots Laura in anger, and she was also pregnant, so she is killed along with the child. Due to which Fox breaks down, and now we can also see that mysterious boy roaming there. Now after leaving Laura in the hospital, he comes to the cabin where he finds Yulia roaming on the way, and they start searching for Russo with her, and they find his body, which they burn. They come to know that he was killed, due to which they were very sad. Then Soul had reached here while tracking them, and he secretly goes inside the house and starts shooting that child, but Cash was here. No one knew which child is good and which is anti-Christ, and then some voice tells her to kill a child, and This voice is actually of the devil who wanted to kill the child by tricking people, and she was going to kill him, but then Julia and Fox come there and stop her, and in the scuffle Fox breaks his other eye too, and Julia shoots him and kills him. Both of them sit and start talking, and Julia sees Laura's grandfather who killed himself here, and he signals we go to the attic. Now both of them go there and find the rest of the paintings there. And these paintings were prophecy paintings in which Rousseau's death, Laura's death, and even the death of her child were predicted. And actually the grandfather also came to know about the prophecy of the end of the world which he presented through the paintings, and he knew what would happen next. He would come with the mother of those children, and therefore the cradle, and all other necessary things were already present here. So you must have understood why all this was here. Now Fox is convinced that the prophecy is absolutely real, but Laura's death and other things start dominating him, and now he sees that. Fox gives a call to the police which asks him to kill a child, and he goes to kill the child, and Yulia starts running away from there with the children. On the way, she meets two policemen, but Fox kills both of them as well, and chasing Yulia reaches a cliff where he starts throwing a child, but Yulia shoots him and takes the child and prays for him, after which he also regains consciousness, and they both go back to the cliff, i.e. after shooting Fox survived, and the voice of the devil which was coming to him repeatedly stopped, and he regained consciousness. I had come now, in the ending scene of the movie we hear Yulia saying that she will have to raise both the children, i.e. Antichrist, as well as God will have to raise both of them, and after growing up the Messiah will himself learn to fight the evil one, and until then they will have to live as a family, and boom, with this the movie ends here. So friends, this was the story of the movie Deliver Us. So what happened here? So in the movie we are told that Yulia was a chosen one who had two children, one good and one devil himself. So now here, both the children will have to race who will be bad. He will have to save the child, and the bad one is the devil himself, who will try to kill the Messiah through the holy man, soldier, and father. So in the movie, Rousseau was a holy man, Soul was a soldier, and Fox was a father, and all the three attempts went in vain. And in the end, Fox was also reborn so that he could become the father of the children. And see, rebirth does not mean that he was born again. Here, rebirth means that he had gained consciousness. He had understood that this prophecy is absolutely true. Now, why was Laura killed here? What had she seen in the trance state, and what was the story of her grandfather? So Laura had there was a factory due to which the climate was getting spoiled, and in the present, God himself has come here through Yulia to save people from humans, because humans were killing humans. Here people like Laura were destroying the earth by making such factories, etc., and causing pollution, due to which they came here among the people. Now whatever Laura was like, her work was wrong, for which she got punished, and maybe her grandfather was also punished for that reason. That's why he ended his life, and her grandfather drew her as a monster, because she was a danger to others. There were strikes on factories so that they could shut down all the factories or end the pollution, or at least bring it to such a level that there is no danger to the environment at all. But she was not believing that. Now, the question is how her grandfather came to know about the entire prophecy. It has not been explained in detail, but perhaps Laura was a part of all this, so it is possible that she might have received some intimacy or something. Well, now why did God and Antichrist come here? So God came to take humans on the right path, and the Antichrist has come to spoil God's work. You mean you see that as soon as he was born he was doing such wrong things? He was calling out to the people, and maybe that mysterious boy was the one who wanted to turn God's people against him by memeing them. And yes, one more thing here is that all the nuns, etc., inside the convent were telling wrong things against Yulia. She was actually a virgin and she did not do any wrong thing. This was just an excuse to kill her child so that the devil could not come here. Now see, the soul who was here was not wrong, but it was not the idea that one of the two children was God. He used to deny everyone the devil here, or say that he had misinterpreted the prophecy. So I hope you liked the explanation of the film Deliver Earth. If you liked it, then like the video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe. And if you have any doubt, etc., then you can ask in the comment section. So I will meet you all with the next video. Until then, sleep.